Hey man, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm very happy you're here. Good to have you. And of course, let me tell you what I'm doing here. Why am I in front of this camera? No man does this without a reason. And for me, it's no different. So, I'm a coach. I help men on their very different paths, yet very similar journey, to become a role model to themselves so they can become a role model to others. I'm fascinated by the masculine journey. I'm fascinated since as long as I can remember by freedom, by becoming everything you can be as a man and sharing your gifts with the world. And for the last 3 years, I've been coaching with a lot of passion and with a lot of love, and also with a lot of success. And I feel it's time for myself to share this with a wider audience, and really purely with this intention. I want to serve you on your journey. I want to provide value for you, and if I can do that in this way, I will be the happiest person on the earth. So today, let me just tell you, how did I get here, man? How did I get here? It's Of course, this interest hasn't come out of nowhere. When I was younger, I was struggling with myself, as everybody does. A lot. For me, that was smoking weed. When I was 17 years old in high school, the last years of high school, we, as a friend group, big friend group, we discovered weed. Of course, I can tell you here in the Netherlands, it's definitely not a myth. Especially in high school, you want to be cool, you want to try new things, and this was no different for us. However, it quickly became a addiction for me, and it started affecting my life. When I was with my friends, everything was perfect, everything was amazing. We were spending time. We had this little shed behind the house of one of the people in the group, and we turned this shed into a headquarters for our group. And the door was always open. There was always someone there, and we would just chill there, even in the evening during the week. When we had school the next day, smoking weed there. And this started suppressing my social life. I was just content with this group, and I wasn't very interested in others. My relationship with my parents didn't become so good. Um, my performance at school, I repeated the year. Then after, even went one level lower, and eventually finishing the high school with a bare effort, a minimum effort, you know. And my parents being very keen on performance, on education, it was simply not a good relationship at that point. I was very disconnected, at home. Um, Especially the day after you just smoked a lot, you're just not there yet. You're not there at all. So, anyways, as one does, you go into a study program, and for me, that was I went together with one of my best friends, and I remember in the beginning, we were this little duo, of course, there, and the principal told us one of you is gonna fail, and I was like, yeah, fuck you, man, we're both gonna make it. Um, of course, he was right. I failed, and my friend eventually finished the study. Um, so at that point, again failing on education, uh, I didn't. I moved. I moved away from home to a different city, more up north to the center of the Netherlands, called Tilburg, and I started a new study program there. What do you think happened though? With all this freedom, living with two other guys that also smoked weed, coincidence? I think not. Um, I started smoking more weed. I started going less and less to the classes. I started playing video games a lot. I played League of Legends vigorously. all that suppressed ambition, this fire inside of me was going into League of Legends. I became very good. At a certain point where I could actually start doing it professionally. And of course I didn't want to, all this time, this fire inside of me was telling me, dude, stop playing around, stop doing this. You're running away from yourself and you have something to offer. Of course I didn't know what, didn't know how. And it continued until the end of that year, where at the end I had to tell my mom, listen, mom, dad, I failed to study again. And at this point I just broke down. This was my rock bottom moment, you could say. Everything came out, the guilt, shame, all these suppressed emotions, towards my parents, but also towards myself mostly. And I felt this warm sadness, kind of like this sort of self-pity. I never felt it again. It was very, very, as if something finally reached me, like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I treating myself this way? Don't I deserve better? Don't I deserve to be happier? And I decided right there, I'm gonna quit smoking weed. In this very big friend group of ours, I was the first. And always in these summer vacations, we would just hang out every day outside and at my friend's place, in the shed, and go on vacation and smoke weed all the time, being in this cloud, and then the next year starts again, ready to fail again, So I quit. I succeeded in quitting, but I was very afraid to lose my friends. Eventually I didn't, which is a testament to the friendships that we still have, and the bond that we still have. But starting my third study program, international business, still living in Tilburg, I felt excited. I felt good. I felt social, energetic, curious about others. All these different parts of myself that were just waiting to get out. I was observing it with a lot of joy. And I started making friends, started building social circles in that city where I was studying, and also in Tilburg. And my whole life was changing. I started listening to podcasts, reading books, going to the gym. And I remember one day, sitting in the garden outside, listening to this podcast from Jan Geurts, who is a Buddhist meditation expert, you could say. And as I was listening to him, he goes, "You are not your thoughts and emotions." I was 19 years old. I was my thoughts and emotions. I identified with every shitty little thought that came in my head, right? It was like a weight went off my shoulders, completely mind blown. And I wanted to experience that more. I wanted to learn more. Like, if I can, expand myself like this, learning, then that sounds very interesting to me. So I started doing workshops and seminars and courses and books and podcasts and you name it. My journey through the self-development world. I started doing all these different things, and I started realizing something, as I just came back from an internship in Prague. I realized that every single thing that I want to do that's good for me or for others, or that makes me feel satisfied or happy, involves a resistance, something inside me, ego, fear, discomfort, routine, rejection, something that's trying to stop me, mostly fear-based, right? And I started, this realization really saddened me at the time. Why is there something inside me that wants to make me unhappy? If I want to go to the gym, something tries to stop me. It will be good for me. If I want to go approach this woman on the street or in a bar that, just smiled to me, something inside me trying to stop me. if I want to start this business, if I want to, for me at least, even go to a social event where I don't know too many people. I knew it was going to be good for me. Once I get there, it's going to be fun. But something was trying to stop me, be at home, safe, comfort, eat some chips, whatever. And this thing inside of us trying to make us unhappy, it really saddened me, it really frustrated me. But I started researching more on it. I started seeing that it's not always the same. Sometimes there's a little resistance, sometimes there's a lot of resistance. And I thought, okay, so when I went to Prague, there was a lot of resistance, and it was the best time of my life. If this is a relationship here, I developed this philosophy. Let's stop fighting this resistance. Let's stop, fighting my demons or whatever you hear on the internet. Let's listen to it and say, okay, if I experience so much fear and resistance here, why don't I listen to it and do it? So I started looking at my life, instantly thinking, okay, nice rule, this new philosophy you have, but not League of Legends, not video games. Let's keep those. So it's like, okay, then this probably must be the thing that I have to stop doing. So I quit video games, and the weeks after that were probably one of the most memorable weeks of my life. This months, I should say, where everything just happened automatically, in flow. Every piece just fits, it's I looked at my life in this period and all the things that I was doing, all the patterns, limitations I had, and started addressing them. So, I started eliminating all these things that were not serving me, that were not bringing me joy or happiness, or were not expanding me. I also started a lot of new practices and things. I went through all these cold exposure, no-fap, meditation, breath work, anything that interested me and involved some resistance. I tried it, I did it, and I documented everything. I made systems, concepts out of everything, and I was coaching myself, redesigning my life. And this period and onwards, I grew myself. I grew so much, and had flourishing social circles, good relationships with women, or trying new things, beating my fear. But there was something missing. All this time I could still feel that there was something missing, as I went to Taiwan to live there for 6 months, also for my study, I realized that this thing I was missing was direction. I was doing all these things. I was happy, I was feeling good, feeling powerful, strong, but I wasn't going anywhere. I was doing my study, but what was I gonna do afterwards? I didn't have any fucking clue. The bus wasn't going anywhere for me. And so I spent a lot of time in Taiwan thinking, what has always been a theme in my life? What dot on the horizon could I put and move towards? And so, of course, I realized immediately, okay, wait, I've been coaching myself basically for the last 8 years, and I documented everything. What can I do with this? I remembered that, being the middle child, I always had this role of making sure everybody was feeling good, right? And I developed a very strong sense of what people are feeling, how the emotions flow in a room, what people want, what people need, what people are thinking. And I was also able to communicate it very well. Especially in Tilburg, in my friend groups, I, for some reason, was the advisor. I was the person people asked advice to. And I really enjoyed it. So all these things lining up, I came back from Taiwan. I said, okay, fuck it. I'm going to take bold action. I'm going to find someone and start coaching him for free. Okay, no, that's too easy. Let's do it for 10 euros. Found someone. This session went absolutely automatically. I felt like 5 minutes. Felt like I did it 1,000 times already. I thought, okay, this is it. I enjoy this so much. This is it for me. And as I started getting referrals and more clients, I started seeing all these transformations with all these men that are feeling lost or unhappy with the thing they were doing at that moment. I knew, holy shit, this is really it for me. And I made it my purpose then to help men in situations that I've experienced as well. I really set direction, built a sense of purpose, and move towards it with high speed, not linearly, not even exponentially, but with quantum leaps. Skip steps. Don't be afraid to bash into the walls. And as I was seeing the results with all these men, this is how I ended up here in front of this camera. Now wanting to share everything that I've been documented, all my experience, and seeing how it worked for my clients. I want to share it with you guys, provide value with you guys in any way I can. And I want this YouTube channel and this brand to be a place where, we all are on very different paths, but on the exact same masculine journey. And I want this to be a place where we can connect with each other and resonate on each other's experiences. And in the next weeks, months, you're gonna see a lot of content, a lot of videos from me, and you're gonna see exactly what I stand for. I think I've shared that already a little bit in this story. I'm happy you're still here. So yeah, stick around, man. If this resonates with you in any way, I'm happy to have you. Subscriptions are free, and I'm happy to see you in the next video, man. Cheers. Hey man, just quick, we need strong masculine role models now more than ever. And if this appeals to you and you are interested in the masculine journey, really designing a life filled with purpose, intention, freedom, and all the material success that will come as a natural consequence, then I would advise you first of all to subscribe to the channel and get one of these free subscriptions. And if you want to work with me on a personal level, this is also possible. Feel free to reach out. See you in the next video, and good luck on your journey.